Did you? No. We'll do it another day. Right. Are we? Are we ready? Yeah.
I mean, when you are, mate, yeah.
Well, I would say this. I've been looking forward to this podcast for a while. Of course, you cancelled on me last minute last week.
Yeah.
So welcome back.
Thank you.
And then Emily nearly cancelled on me this week
really?
because I got a diary invitation to say that it was going to be for tomorrow. I said, no.
Today.
My day's set. So welcome.
Thank you.
And welcome to Allsopp and Allsopp generally. One thing I didn't realise, and I suppose I should have, but it just shows you how involved I was with you at the interview rather than studying your CV. You sold furniture before you moved to Dubai, and you actually sold furniture full time whilst you were doing your degree.
Yeah, correct.
How did you find that?
Yeah, do you know what? I loved it. Very, very relaxed job. Retail in a big, massive industrial park. Customers coming in all day. It was just really chilled environment. You sat around on comfy sofas all day. People coming in looking for couches, and you just got to help them out, yeah.
But were you one of those people that when a client would walk through the door, you followed?
Breathing down your neck. No, I'm joking. I used to hate it. That was the only thing I used to hate, because the last thing you want to be, especially in retail, is that salesperson when you come through the door and you just think, oh my God, will you just go away?
But do you not think that happens in sales environments here in Dubai quite a lot?
It does, but it's a much more natural process, especially when it's face to face. Obviously, in our industry, a lot of it is over the phone.
Yeah, of course.
By the time you actually are meeting these people, you've had a couple of conversations that are already somewhat comfortable with you. Otherwise, they wouldn't be meeting you at all.
Yeah.
Whereas when you are in retail sales and people have been to 3 furniture shops and then are coming into your shop, having been chased out by 3 previous salespeople, it is a much more of a difficult conversation when you are trying to approach them. So yeah, it's just...
Do you feel like your retail days, though, set you up well for the job that you do now?
Definitely. I mean, in furniture, like you say, you come into a shop, you got a salesperson coming up to you, you don't want to speak to them straight away. It is all about rapport. Yeah. I mean, there's so much upselling in furniture as well. You wouldn't believe it, that we were targeted on really heavy KPIs. And in order to get those KPIs, it was just all about relationship and rapport. So I do think that is a skill that I picked up there, yeah, quickly building rapport.
Of course, you must be happier with the commission you earn per property sale, though, than per sofa that you sell.
But to be honest, funny enough, it wasn't actually a commission-based job.
What?
Even though it was sales. So we got bonuses, but basically the way they incentivized it was to work together as a team. So we had 2 pots, one for conversion, and then one we would get a monthly target, and depending on how we perform that month would be how we would be incentivized. But yeah, it was a team bonus.
See, I don't think I like that. That's more UK mentality.
Yeah, do you know what? It worked really well in our store because everybody grafted, everybody done the thing.
That's unusual, because the reason I say UK mentality is if you've got a grouped or a pooled commission, what you end up having is people that are really good, that push, that work their socks off, and then you've got the other lazy people who just cream off the top of the commission that's been earned.
But yeah, no, we had a really good team, to be fair, so everyone worked quite dynamically.
So for the viewers at home that don't know where you are from, where are you from and what brought you to Dubai?
So I mean, if you can't tell from the accent, I'm from Liverpool. I just come to Dubai for a better life, better opportunity. I knew people out here already that were absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Wasn't always the plan. Like I say, I was in uni doing finance, wanted to go into sort of a chartered accountant role, done a couple of internships.
You don't strike me as an accountant.
Do you know what? I just thought it's so boring. And especially back home, you spend, 70% of your life in work. I just thought, I'm going to be absolutely depressed.
Yeah.
I thought, 21, just finished uni. Why not just go and see what happens?
Yeah.
The worst possible thing that could have happened is I'd be doing exactly the same thing that I was doing anyway.
So in short, you're glad you made the move.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily on the cards.
It was something I had me eye on for a while, but I did just think, so I'd probably been looking at it for about 2 years before it come out. But at that point I just thought, let's ride out uni, let's actually finish my degree.
Yeah.
Just so I've got, some form of education behind me.
So that if you do want to go and be a boring accountant, you can.
Exactly.
No hate towards the accountants. Now listen, you started off with another real estate company when you came to Dubai.
Yeah.
How was the transition moving from your home country to Dubai with that agency and into a completely different industry without a basic salary?
Yeah. Do you know what? Full credit to the brokerage and the recruiter. They made the transition really seamless. Sent me over a guide to Dubai booklet, a relocation booklet. I'm sure we do the same thing here, but they put up sort of incentivized like stays with obviously you would get corporate discounts. So it was really good, really seamless. The training there was good. Very industry standard.
Yeah.
You know, 5 days in a training room learning about the do's, the don'ts, how to be on the phone, how to speak to people, and then onto the sales floor.
And then your transition to Allsopp and Allsopp?
Exactly the same, nice and seamless.
Not exactly the same. Come on, better. Come on, Dill.
Maybe a bit better. Nice and seamless. Once again, I got put in with the new starters, which I'm not 100% sure why. Okay. But yeah, it was a good week. It was nice and informative. Obviously, I'd already been doing the job for a year and a half at that point, but it was good to be in and just see Allsopp and Allsopp's take on it as well.
So let's talk about that for a second, because your transition to Allsopp and Allsopp has a bit of a story, right? And one of the reasons I was quite looking forward to doing this podcast today was for that reason.
Yeah.
But let's take the story back to the beginning.
How far back do you want to go?
Let's go to the beginning.
Right, okay. So a very good friend of mine had also working at the same company I was previously at, had just made the decision to basically change area. He was... So we both done downtown. Well, I done downtown, he done Business Bay. Very similar. Worked with him from pretty much the start. And he decided he wanted to go and move into a villa community for sales. Obviously come here, he's got a couple of friends here. And yeah, we were just out one night. It was the last day of the year in the office. It's in one of our favourite hotspots in Circle Village. If you know me, you'll know where it is. And yeah, do you know what? It was funny because Allsopp and Allsopp was never something that I had on my mind. I don't know why. It was just never really a company that I considered. And he just thought it'd be really funny to book me in on an interview with you the next day. Obviously, I've woke up in the morning and just thought, what's the worst that can happen? He knew I was a little bit unhappy. He knew I was looking to make a similar move. Obviously, I already had my eye on what community I wanted to do. So I just thought, let's just have a conversation. There's no harm in having a conversation out here.
So you actually came to the interview thinking, I'll go and have a chat, see what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, it was never something that I was massive on. Like I say, obviously I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to stay where I was. So I thought, do you know what, the worst that can happen is I go there and I leave feeling exactly the same as I was coming in.
So before we complete the story, why were you, and for reference, we're talking about Lee, right?
Yeah, Lee.
The guy who joined us from the same agency as where you were before. Why did you both want to move away from doing, because you did downtown, he did Business Bay, you wanted to both do villa-based communities. Why?
Yeah. I think for me and for Lee as well, when you're selling villas, it is just a lot more of a personal approach. Now, for me personally, what I found, so in lettings, my niche was serviced accommodation. So I mainly focused in downtown on the likes of your addresses, your Vidas, and more of your higher ticket inventory. And the shift I found going into sales, Cam, was these properties are only really selling when the sellers are desperate for the money.
Yeah.
As an investor coming in right now on the market, I mean, my tower's address Skyview. It's like 40 dirham a square foot to service fees, or was when I transitioned into sales. For a 2,000 square foot apartment, it's 80,000 dirhams a year. On top of that, you've then got to pay your address fees, your cleaning, your maintenance, XYZ. And you retain to like 4.5%, 5%. And for an investor coming into this market now, it just didn't make sense. So for me, I felt like I was starting all over again, because I had to go back to reaching out to your one beds in the lofts that I'd not spoken to in 12 months. No shade to the lofts or anywhere in downtown.
It's a reality when you've been used to doing the address, right?
It was just a case of I felt like I was starting the job all over again in sales. And I ended up going out with a lady. Honestly, she ran me around Dubai, but she was looking for a villa. And this is Taz. You actually met Taz.
Yeah, I was going to say we met her at the same viewing.
In the Mac Hills. And I just felt so much more relaxed with the process of, instead of, you know, driving 40 minutes to downtown to meet an investor who you've spoke to for 2 hours and spends 15 seconds in the apartment and gives you an offer 20% below the market. Whereas when you're with a family, you're building relationships, building, you know, connections. There's a bit more purpose to the job, because it is not just about, you know, what return can we get. You're finding someone, the family home.
But then, by comparison, you do still get families and end users that operate in downtown. Because you know, I moved from downtown to where I am now. But I think what maybe the overriding feeling is here is that you'd done downtown in lettings, you've made the transition into sales, perhaps didn't enjoy it as much. And what your mentality was is, well, if I'm starting again, I may as well start again and go into an area which I probably feel a little bit more in tune with.
I mean, well, I do Tilal, don't I? So even from the start, when I was at the first agency as a lettings broker, Elan was just starting to hand over. And I actually requested to go into Tilal Al Ghaf lettings. So it was always a community I'd had my eye on. You know, I think as a master community, there's so much upside to the project. It's always something that I've had a little bit of a soft spot for.
But you had your eyes on it way back.
Literally when I started, I'd have been in there from day one if I had it my way. Got put into downtown. And naturally, you come over here, you go into an agency, people say, look, you'll be good in this area. You have just sort of got to give it a good go.
Which you did.
Definitely.
And you were successful enough for us to pick you up as an agency. As an agent, and for Lee to think actually you'd be good here for us, right?
No, honestly, I loved downtown lettings. It was fast. It was everything I needed. It was quick. We were busy. But yeah, when it comes to the sales side of things, I just thought, if I am starting over again, for me, and this is what I said to Mark Walters, I see real estate more as a career than sort of a 2-year thing.
Yeah, of course.
You know, I mean, I'm 23 now.
You're only 23?
And I look 45.
You had a hard paper round.
Honestly, it's working here.
Don't give us that.
Yeah, I just thought, if I'm going to do this job for at least another 10 years, I'd rather sell something that I'm passionate about. And that's obviously why I made it.
Well, look, I saw the way that you were with, what was the lady's name?
Taz. Yeah.
And I also saw the way that you were when you welcomed me and my wife to the villa. You couldn't have been more helpful and sort of made us feel at ease. Let's just complete that story for a second then. So you came in for an interview.
Yeah.
And for context, on that interview, the morning of that day, we'd had our offer not rejected, but the owners had decided that they didn't want to proceed with selling the property to us. And that was in Ranches. And I remember, unusually for me, opening myself up a bit and going, I'm a bit stuck. What would you recommend? And I remember you said, you've got your laptop there. Like, let me show you something. And you showed me this villa in Damac Hills with a pool. And instantly I was like, no, I don't want to live in Damac Hills. No, I don't want to live in Damac Hills. My wife doesn't want to live in Damac Hills. And you were like, Cam, and you were a typical estate agent. You were like, just trust me. Let's go and see it. Let's see if you still feel the same. I sent it to my wife. She was in a foul mood because the property that we really wanted in Rances we can't go with for. For also context, she was pregnant. We go and view this villa in Damac Hills. And of course we fall in love with it.
It was...
And the rest is history on the basis that we ended up purchasing that property. And I guess in many respects, I hold you responsible for that in a nice way. Because if it wasn't for you, I don't actually know where we'd be. We'd probably be renting somewhere. So I want to say thank you. I don't actually think I've ever really properly said thank you.
No, thank you. I mean, thank you.
It was good. And honestly, the way that you made us feel welcome, the fact that you knew everything about the villa and anything that you didn't know, you asked and made sure that you came back with the right information. So, it was a nice...
it was unexpected, wasn't it? But
very.
It was just one of those things that, like, I even got home and I was like that to me missus. I was like, can't believe that just happened.
Well, what ended up happening is you got a job and a sale. And I ended up getting a really great recruit and a new home.
I'm just happy you like the house.
Do you know what? We do still love it now. And I've said to you before, I should invite you round so you can see what we've done with the place. But I from saying to you, absolutely not, I am not living in Damac Hills, to now purchasing the property and living in Damac Hills,
Yeah.
it was a nice full circle moment for us. Now, of course, an area which we may say is somewhat more premium is the area that you operate in.
Yeah.
And that's Tilal Al Ghaf. Let's talk about Tilal Al Ghaf.
Yeah.
Now, Tilal Al Ghaf, you said you had your eye on that as an area. I get that. But did you honestly think that you would be able to join us and operate in that area? Or did you think, we'll try and offer you Dubai Hills or Damac Hills or somewhere else?
Yeah, no, I mean, when we sat down and had the chat, it was always a case of Tilal Al Ghaf.
Yeah.
And that was obviously very conditional, no matter where I went.
Yeah.
Tilal Al Ghaf was the area that I wanted to do. Like I say, I'd sort of been in and out of downtown for maybe like 6 weeks. I'm quite impulsive as a person, so even taking 6 weeks to figure out where I wanted to go is good for me.
Oh, you made me wait.
Yeah, I did make you wait. But even just outside of Allsopp, in terms of tag, I'd done my homework. I'd been in the community. I was out viewing, Elon's Harmonies auras before I come here. And I just really liked the product. And I think after a couple of weeks of walking around the area, learning about it before I even started, I was like, right, okay, this is where I wanna go.
What do you love most about the area?
Just the community itself. I think if you speak to anybody who lives in Tilal Al Ghaf, works in Tilal Al Ghaf, the community is unreal.
What do you mean when you say that though? Because I would argue that Dubai Hills has a great community.
Yeah.
Damac Hills has an amazing community. Like, what is it about the Tilal Al Ghaf community that you think trumps it?
There's just something in the air. I mean, even in terms of like the amenities. So every cluster, the amenities are 10 out of 10. You've got everything that you need pretty much on your doorstep.
Okay.
Factoring in, obviously, the construction that we've got ongoing.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a community, it's not going to be ready until 2028.
So that's when the expected finish date is for the community.
But I think the fantastic thing right now for Tilal Al Ghaf is if you look at Dubai Hills estate, it is pretty much as good as done, especially for your village. You're maybe looking at a Sidra or a Maple, for example. There's not that much more upside in terms of value that's coming to the community. You are relying on the location and obviously the market continuing to be the way it is. However, when I'm out with people in Tilal, if the market didn't go anywhere, stayed exactly where it was, and I'm talking about the general market here, the property prices in Tilal Al Ghaf still are going to increase because of the additional value you've got coming to the area.
But what do you mean by that? And I guess what I'm trying to do is just dumb it down for anybody that's listening to this that perhaps doesn't know where Tilal Al Ghaf is, doesn't understand the backing that the community has. But more importantly, when you say if the prices don't change or if the market doesn't change, then the prices have still got legs. You're saying that because they're going to continue developing the area, the prices will hold steady.
Exactly. So, I mean, Tilal Al Ghaf, obviously, as you know, Cam, is centred around a massive crystal lagoon. Private beaches for residents, swimming, paddle boarding, volleyball on the beaches. And just to top it off, we've got our own fully licensed beach club and also a clubhouse next to it. So the guys who've got the contracting for the beach club are the Sunset Group.
Oh yeah.
So the same people who do Sushi Samba.
Yeah.
So it's not like your Malibu in Damac. I know.
You just hit me there.
It's not like your Malibu in Damac. You will be able to walk out your back gate 2 seconds down the road and go and get a strawberry daiquiri or a pina colada of a Saturday. We've got is it Joe's Backyard?
Yeah. I think I've been to Dubai Hills as well, right?
It's in Jumeirah Islands. We've got one of them coming to a nice little gastro pub. So once again, you're not even going to have to leave the community to go for a Sunday roast.
So what are you talking then? So price wise, let's do entry level.
Yeah.
And then let's do I'm doing well for myself, and then let's do top end of the market.
Right, okay. So your entry into Tilal Al Ghaf at the minute, your townhouses, you've got your Elan and your Aura townhouses. 3 beds start about 3.8 for your Elan, about 4.3, let's say 4.2, 4.3 for your Aura Gardens townhouses. Your next step up, so they're for 3 beds. Your next step up, so you're doing well for yourself. I think your middle ground is your Aura and your Harmony. So your twin villas, 4 beds. You're looking anywhere from 6 to 7 for a standard unit, let's say, subject to location.
4 bed, independent, these are?
No, twin villas, so semis.
Yeah.
Your entry to your independents or your Harmonies. Prices are crazy, your Harmony at the minute. But you're probably looking about 9.2.
9.2.
9.2 for the internal unit. If you'll take one back and Hamdan or the Alpha extension, you can pick them up around 8.5.
But you want an internal one.
You want,
if you're going to have one, you can have a good one.
If you're gonna do it, you may as well do it properly.
So is this you trying to now upsell me to leave Damak to come to Tilal and buy from you again?
I mean, if you want to come and do some viewings, then we can see.
Listen, never say never. And I think it's interesting because there are so many villa communities, right? For anybody thinking about moving to a villa community, how do you make a decision? I guess you look at developer, I guess you look at price, you look at location. Yeah. But when you've just explained the amenities that you have there, it has naturally got my cogs ticking, because I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, that sounds quite nice actually. Yeah. And actually prices seem to be still relatively affordable in comparison to other more established villa communities. Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm not even going to bore you going down the guru price per square foot basis, but all you have to do is look at your neighbouring communities, your Jumeirah Golf Estates, your Dubai Hills, and compare comparable products. Look at price per square foot, and there's so much room for Tilal Al Ghaf.
So clearly, from a product perspective, you love it.
Yeah.
How has working at Allsopp helped you in your sales career? Because ultimately, in the previous agency, you weren't in sales for very long.
No.
So the majority of your sales career, well, not the majority, but the sales career has been Allsopp. So how has operating here helped you?
Do you know what? That's the biggest thing about Allsopp and Allsopp, and I say this to everybody who asks me, Cam, is it's the people. It's the people in the office. You know, at other agencies, everybody in this market has the same tools. Yeah. They do, honestly. It's the same training, same resources. Everybody has the same tools.
I think we'll just do the caveat on the same training bit, but we'll come back to it.
It is, give or take. But it's the people that you're around. And for me, the big difference is, let's say the other agency, I'm surrounded by people who have also been here for 9 months, 10 months, a year, 2 years. You know, if you've been at the company for, let's say, 2 years, 3 years, you were known as an established broker, you've been here for a while, you know, seen as a more senior broker.
Okay.
Whereas, I mean, here, 3 years is not, and we've got brokers who've been here for 12, 15 years. You know,
well, even look at the people in your own team. They're racking up 5, 6,
exactly.
Years.
And even using my team as an example, bar Sarah, who's obviously just come from Lettons, I'm the only broker currently who is not a senior broker.
Yeah.
So even something as simple as that, going into a team where, you know, you've got the reassurance that everybody is performing, everybody's there to do the job.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as Ryan, for example. Ryan's got 2 kids and a mortgage. He comes to work. He doesn't.
Well, he has to make
exactly. He doesn't come to work to, you know, get involved in the gossip or, you know, He doesn't care what's gone on in, you know, the beach club of a weekend or McCafferty's of a Friday night. Yeah. People are in the office to just do the job, get on with it, make money, and go home. And for me, that's the biggest thing.
So I'm sorry I cut you off there. I didn't mean.
That's okay.
What I would say then is what we're saying here is that the quality of the people that you're operating with on a daily basis here is better.
Definitely.
That makes me happy as the recruitment director.
I wouldn't say the quality is always better, but the quantity of the quality is much better.
No, I loosely translate that to the quality being better. Let's just make it simple. But I know what you mean. What you're saying is there's a high proportion of good quality people operating in this business, not necessarily just in your own team, but in order for you to operate with brokers in neighbouring communities for you to be able to do split deals with, which I think is hugely important. And especially in a market that we find ourselves in now, the amount of choice, you may register somebody thinking they want Tilal Al Ghaf,
but
they might not. And you can have the availability to be able to go and sell them something else in a different area. I like that. Okay, so it's easy for me to say this, and it probably hasn't felt easy for you, but you've had a great start with us, right? You've operated for your first full year in sales with Allsopp and Allsopp. In fact, it will be February next year, right? Looking ahead, senior. That's next on the cards. What's beyond that?
Honestly, at the minute, Cam, I mean, you'll speak to a couple of people in the brokerage. Jolly Gutteridge is definitely one of them, where once you've got your eye on senior, that's all that matters for me right now. I'll be very disappointed with myself if I don't do senior. Obviously, Matt's told me it runs rolling calendar for your first year.
Yeah.
So I have got till the end of February, so I'll be absolutely disappointed if I don't do senior.
I believe in you.
Hopefully I want to do it before Christmas, but we'll see.
Okay.
But after that, it's more just I want to take a little bit more of a slower approach. I want to really niche down within the community. At the minute, we had a meeting this morning. We're all a bit all over the place in terms of inside the tag. So I want to niche down within a couple of subclusters, and then really just make them my own.
Yep.
We're in quite an exciting phase over the next 12 to 18 months, let's say, in the community, because we're getting quite a lot of the bigger product handover now.
Yep.
Obviously, as of now, it's only Harmony, which standalones, which are handed over. But over the next, like say, 12 to 18 months, we're starting to see some of the mansions and some of the standalones. So it's an exciting time.
Commission. Okay, so then your proudest moment that you've had, and I think what I'll do is I'll do proudest moment since moving to Dubai.
Okay.
Go on.
Jesus. Do you know what? Something I'm quite proud of. It's literally as of today. So I'm going to pick the keys up for my villa today at 20 to 5. So me and
Incredible. That's amazing.
So me and the missus have just moved to Al Raneem. Yeah, in a G+2.
Good for you.
And yeah, we've one checked it as well. So it's
love that for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, nice. Well, then that's the next thing, which is your most recent wow moment or proudest moment is going to collect your keys for your new villa.
Yeah.
Love that. Congratulations, mate.
Thank you.
So what are your goals for yourself? Because I can hear the passion and the interest that you have in Tilal Al Ghaf. You've certainly made a good impression with Allsopp and Allsopp.
Yeah.
You're operating in what I would class as a very elite team. You commented earlier, aside from you and somebody new to the team joining from lettings, everybody else is either senior or associate director.
Yeah.
What are the goals for you? And you can go professional and personal.
I mean, professional long term is always going to be associate director.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we sat down,
I remember you asking.
As I would say, it was one of the first things I asked. How do you get it? Obviously, people will say, "Oh, you've had a good GM." I have this debate with my missus all the time because she thinks I'm too hard on myself, but I'm not really satisfied with where we've been this year. Yeah, it's the first year in the community. And Matt will tell you himself, I'm never happy with what I'm doing. But associate is definitely something that I want to work towards. Obviously, it works a lot differently here compared to where I've previously been. It goes on lifelong billables, so that figure's a little bit higher. But yeah, this is definitely something I want to work towards professionally. Personally, so we set ourselves a goal, or I set myself a goal to start of the year to buy a property. I'm probably not going to do it. I just don't think there's nothing in the market in the price range that I'm looking at that is really jumping out to me.
Okay.
And it's very easy advising people to put the money in these places, but when it's your own money, you do take that little bit of extra caution. And I'm just waiting for the right thing to come up. So in the next year, hopefully, like I say, I'll be able to buy something myself.
Let's dig into that for just a second, though. And I hope you don't mind me asking personal questions.
Ask away.
What budget then are you looking at?
So the budget is changing.
Okay.
So literally, as of 2 weeks ago, me and the missus were looking at actually trying to buy one of these Al Raneems, which
well, what are we talking?
3.8.
Okay.
But we sat down, we talked about it, we realised it was a little bit rash. We've been seeing each other for just over a year. Obviously, with the mortgage situation, you've got to get married and a lot of headache to go into something when it's still quite fresh.
Of course.
Before that, I was looking at doing a smaller project. So I was actually looking at Matt Minette is doing one at the minute, buying a 1-bed in Motor City in the older buildings.
Yeah.
About 1,100 square feet. Renovating it, putting about 100 into it, and then giving it back to Luke in the Motor City team to resell.
The size of them is incredible.
They are really nice when they're done up. But the issue for me was, I think by the time I got in there, the prices just were a little bit stretched and the margin just wasn't there.
But that's the reason I wanted to touch on this very subject, because how many times do you hear buyers register with you and say, oh, I'll buy next year. Oh, I'll buy next year.
Definitely.
And of course, every year that goes by, what happens to the prices? They
Go
keep
up.
increasing,
They do.
the margins get smaller, etc. So I guess being the constant optimist in the property market
Yeah.
and having invested since I was young, I would say
Buy now.
buy today.
Yeah.
And I'm not even the real estate agent.
But the thing was, I didn't want to just buy for the sake of buying. And
But why?
That's what I felt like I'd have been doing.
Okay.
I do, because I had a couple of ideas on what I was going to do. There's a building that I currently live in Studio City where you can short term them really quickly at decent rates. I actually done a sublet my studio for the year when I moved in with my partner.
Yeah.
But once again, it's just a case of, for me, there just weren't enough juice in the deal to put that money in.
But there's still so many areas where you can get juicy deals.
There is. Next year, I'll be looking to buy a townhouse.
Well, it's
Not an apartment.
It's on record now. Next year you are buying.
Yeah.
No procrastination.
No procrastination.
It's not going into
Like I say,
2027.
Townhouse, not an apartment.
Okay. So there's levels.
Yeah.
You've thought, no, I've missed the apartment thing. I'm just going to go straight to townhouse.
Yeah, it was always a case of, if I was buying an apartment, I didn't want to buy an apartment to just hold it. Obviously, doing a villa community myself, I think there's a massive oversupply of apartments, especially in saturated areas like your JVCs, your JVTs. I don't really see the value in buying an apartment right now, unless it's waterfront or on the marina. If there's a significant USP, fair play. But for me and for what I was working with at the time, there was just nothing that was screaming.
What's the notion though? And I guess I've had this way of thinking since I was young, and you hear it a lot more in the real estate industry when you work here. But the question is this: wouldn't you rather be paying off your own mortgage and chipping away at your own capital repayments than paying rent on somebody else's? Because whilst I've just congratulated you on doing something in one check, which is great, you've got the savings and the affordability to be able to do it, and I'm not taking anything away from that. But as somebody who does invest in the real estate market, I'm thinking to myself, well, why wouldn't you just want to chip away at your own capital repayment?
Yeah, I know. You can have that conversation with me, missus. But
fair.
Yeah, I mean,
well, listen, in a couple of years' time, things are going to be different. But you said in a year, people have heard it here first. You're going to buy next year.
Definitely.
Fine. What's your advice to anybody who is considering moving to Dubai to work in the real estate market?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I'm on the phone
to
my little brother all the time. He's just turned 18. Sent money home for him to do his driving lessons, and once he gets a car, I'm going to be all over him to come out here. Even just in terms of out here, you do lose sense of reality a little bit. You know, you're looking at the figures that get put on the board every month. But even just in terms of the lifestyle that you have out here, the opportunity that you have out here, it's just so better than back home. Say to them all that there's nothing back home. I have the debate with my missus all the time. She loves it back home. We're from very, very different parts of the UK. She's down south, Surrey. I'm obviously Liverpool.
Yeah.
But the opportunity and the life that people have out here, it's years beyond what.
I think because we don't pay any tax here, and I think because there's a higher concentration of like-minded individuals, and
even just the weather. You wake up in the morning, it's sunny, you're automatically in a better mood.
But I think when you're surrounded with people, and where I was going with that is that you don't have to be negative about your home city or your home country.
No, not at all. Look, I love Liverpool.
Of course. And I love Leicester. But there are places that maybe you wouldn't go back to, or you wouldn't be interested in, or you wouldn't see yourself living there full time. And that's not a degradation towards the people that live there.
It just shows what we've got here.
It kind of draws comparison that actually here, people are motivated and moving in the right direction and will champion you when you do something well, rather than question how you've been able to do it, right? Yeah. And so your advice to say just do it just do it.
It's every element of the job is just do it. The more you think, the more you procrastinate. I'm awful for procrastinating, by the way, honestly.
As we've heard with you not buying in the real estate.
Yeah, I'm awful for procrastinating. But the more you think, the more you procrastinate. It just delays everything. You just jump into it, give it everything you've got.
Yeah.
And you will see a payoff.
So my final question then is this. You made the move from Liverpool to Dubai.
Yeah.
You joined an agency and went into lettings first.
Yeah.
If you had your time again, would you have gone straight into sales?
No.
Why?
So I think it's not a one size fits all. For me, in all honesty, I didn't have the financial resources to come here and possibly not do a deal for six months and then have the possibility of not being paid on that deal for another 6 months.
Right.
So I needed a quicker turnaround. Now, if you've got, I don't know, I think, once again, it doesn't work for everybody because we see people come out here with 50 grand in the bank.
Fair, yeah.
And are almost too comfy. So I do think you need an element of pressure when you first start this job. But for me, it was perfect. I got to learn the job. I got to make mistakes where the stakes weren't too high.
Yeah.
It's the best way to do it. I'd advise to anybody to at least do 3 months in lettings.
Because you get exposure to the marketplace.
You do. It's a much easier conversation to somebody who owns a property talking about them renting it out as opposed to selling.
Yeah.
In sales, you're convincing people to sell the property, whereas in lettings, you either want to let your property or you don't.
Or moreover, you have to let a property.
Well, exactly.
And it's more circumstantial rather than in sales. Maybe there's a bit of, I might move, I might not move.
Exactly.
If you're letting a property or you're renting a property, you have to. Like, I need a home.
Even though obviously in this market we don't see it all the time, but there is still sort of an element of exclusivity in sales.
Of course.
You know, once again, when you're talking about sort of higher ticket items and people are living in a villa, or there's a tenant in a villa, for example, tenant doesn't want 15 agents coming through the house doing viewings. Whereas with lettings, it is a case of whoever can get it rented out the quickest wins.
Yeah.
But I think that's fantastic because it really does open your phone book to people that you probably wouldn't have that conversation with if you were just calling them to say, can I sell your villa? Especially in downtown, you find we have people who work with the same agent for 20 years, buying and selling.
Yeah.
But with lettings, they're happy to meet you, they're happy to have the conversation, especially when the units are just being handed over and you've got yourself in front of somebody that you never would have been able to contact.
So you actually feel that starting in lettings for you not only gave you exposure, but allowed you probably to make a few mistakes.
Yeah.
And just get to know Dubai somewhat before you then ventured into sales. And actually, if you'd have gone straight from selling sofas in Liverpool to sales in Tilal Al Ghaf, one, you probably wouldn't have been considered for the team. Yeah. But two, that would have been a very stark comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tough gig. I mean, even at the start of the year, I've come in, even though I've already obviously done the job, but didn't bring no contacts with me for Tilal Al Ghaf. It was a standing start. And yeah, I seen it. It's tough to get.
But enjoying the area, enjoying the team that you operate in, enjoying the company.
Yeah.
And glad ultimately that you operate as a sales consultant in Tilal.
Yeah, made up.
Good. Dylan, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
And again, I know I said it before, but thank you. You don't know how happy you made a heavily pregnant woman.
Like I say, I'm just glad you like it. It'd be a bit awkward if you didn't.
No, it was good. And you know what? You even checked in with us after we purchased.
Yeah.
Do you like it? So that's.
I mean, it wasn't your conventional deal, was it? Because I'd sold it to you and then obviously moved here. So all of the after sale process, I was just sort of exiled when I had nothing to do with it.
Well, I don't know about exiled, but you were in the WhatsApp group and then you weren't in the WhatsApp group.
I was out of the loop. But yeah.
But you still made it very smooth. Because it could have not been smooth based on the fact that yes, when we decided we wanted to buy it, you were operating with another agency, but you did make it easy and smooth and simple. So thank you.
No problem.